Yay.
Wow, it was so close to my face.
Okay. I think I was editing to add the record feature, and so I don't know if it created a new link or what. But
Oh, my dog's going crazy. Oh, well, that's okay. I was trying to do it on my laptop, and I thought at first it was the problem with the laptop, but then it wouldn't work on my phone either. So, am I the only one on here? Let's make it yet?
yeah, everyone's IMing me. Let me message them. So did you use the link I resent you?
Yes.
Okay, because Jess
right away.
Jess can't
I gotta get my dog. Hang on one second.
No worries.
Okay, let me send this to
did you log in on your computer or on your
on my computer? It's dark in here. I gotta turn the light on or something.
Huh. I wonder why. This is my first time like setting up I've set up a Zoom before with like one person.
Let's see. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, let me just see. I don't know if Jen wants just to start a new one. I feel bad.
Can you hear me? Can you guys see me here?
You're here. Where are you? Hang on. You're here.
I'm
we
here.
Okay.
But Jess couldn't get in either, so I just sent her the link that you sent me. So maybe I'll post.
I think it was because I went to add the record feature, and so it must have done something funky because it was not selected, so it wasn't going to let me record it. So.
Oh, okay. There's yes. Should I post that link in our page? Is that different than the link you had before?
I posted it.
Oh, okay.
I'm this is about social media, not Zoom, right? I'm not very good at Zoom yet.
Yeah.
Hi, Jess.
Hi.
Who wants to do a Zoom tutorial next time?
Yeah, right.
I think Lori's gonna jump on. She's a new builder. I just sent her the link.
Awesome. Let's see if anyone else.
And she started her Instagram account today.
Cool. I'll make sure. All right, so we're just waiting on Laura. Oh, and Laura. Okay.
Look, you can see all the
Oh,
can you see all the crap on my bed?
You
The
just
bad
block
thing-
that. That's what you do.
The bad thing about Zoom.
I couldn't get it to work from my laptop, so I'm holding my phone because I could only get it from my phone to work.
I got it to work. Yay.
Yay. Why is that's weird? It doesn't work. I guess right away.
I used the link that she put inside she posted that link in the thread. I used that and it worked.
Okay.
Just
Yeah, the
go
first link
doing
didn't
it.
work. The first link kept saying you had another meeting in progress.
Yeah.
Oh, weird. I don't know. This is what I get for the free account, right? Oh, Laura's in. Okay.
Totally.
Pay for, lady.
Yeah.
Hi guys.
Was that Laura?
Made it.
Yeah. Okay.
Hi,
Hi.
I haven't seen you in a while, I feel like.
I know.
Okay. And then hang on. Kira's trying to get in, so let me add her to this link.
I don't know how to mute myself. I'm trying to mute myself.
Okay. I think Susan, or is it Suzanne? She on?
Suzanne.
Suzanne.
Yeah.
And Kira. And then is that it? And Lori?
I think so.
Okay. Oh, Kira's in. Okay. All right. Jen, do you want me to hang tight until the last couple get on, or do you want me to go ahead?
Are you going to be able to record?
It's recording.
Yeah, then go for it, I think.
Yes, it is recording this lovely hot mess. Let me make sure. It is. Okay. So they can fast forward through for the first couple minutes. So, okay. So since I have the free account, that's why I mentioned that we have to promptly time this to 30 minutes because I think it'll cut us off. So Jen wanted me to talk about social media tips. And I think it's an awesome topic. I think everyone is great in their own unique way. And I think we all have tips to share. And so for me, I was like, what tips do I have? I mean, everyone has their own and we just don't know it. So I wrote down a few notes and then I asked you guys for some questions. So if you have more questions at the end, I'm happy to answer those. So when I got started with a business, I guess my starting point was opening up a social media for my personal business or for my business instead of personal. And that was so that way I differentiated a little bit and everyone does it different. And I know like on our personal accounts, we have a huge market, but I wanted to naturally attract and do attraction marketing a little bit where I wasn't blasting doTERRA stuff to my friends and deterring them away. And I think it really brings like an organic audience. So I opened an Instagram and Facebook. So one question was kind of on what the difference is or why do you choose Facebook over Instagram and things like that. So I say it's all about the audience. So your audience can vary. Some aren't even on social media. Some, let's say like a lot more of like the oldies but goodies are on Facebook and not Instagram and have no clue what Instagram is. And then there's a lot of like millennials that are on Instagram and it actually gets a lot more attraction these days and is a lot more popular. So even if we're more comfortable with one, it is good to be open to it. And even if you aren't using it for your own personal account. So, and it's totally up to you. Like if you are just not a social media person, I know like, what is it, Lisa Zimmer, she does everything mostly without social media. So it's totally possible. I think it's just an opportunity, and it's a huge opportunity, because it's not even just like the friends you have. Like that's a network starting point. Like, for example, if you're inviting a friend to an event you have posted on Facebook, and you are, you have their friends come to your class, you add them on Facebook, and you're instantly getting opening up to them and their network. So it's just an opportunity. So the biggest difference of Facebook and Instagram is Facebook, excuse me, I have a little bit of a cold. Facebook, you can share things. You can go two different routes on Facebook and Instagram. Facebook, you can share like links. You can do videos. So if you want to share like a sourcing to you video, co-impact sourcing or source to you video, you can do that. You can do articles. So like Jen shares those studies, which are so great. And then it's documented and saved in your history. So you can tell someone, hey, like I actually just posted a study on frankincense and cancer. You should go look at it. Or you can go try to tag their name. So there's two different platforms, and they work kind of different. Instagram is usually all about focused on the photo, I feel like. So the photo is what captures your eye and gets you to read the content. So if you aren't familiar with Instagram, it just has a square photo, and then you can see like a little bit of text, but you actually can put in quite a bit of text. And so you can also do some not photo things, and so I can talk about that too. But the other social media I like to talk about is YouTube, because we forget about it. And it is another resource. So if you have people that are not on social media, I have quite a few people, and they're like, not going to do it. No, thank you. So with the help of Jess and her MailChimp, I do MailChimps to every single one of my customers or leads. And I make sure to include like a YouTube video of what one of my Instagram lives is. So it gets a little bit boggly, but you can record like we are now, and then you can actually like save that and embed it into, and put it into YouTube, and embed it into a little pretty newsletter where they're going to see your picture and go to your YouTube video and experience the same thing they did if they were on social media. So, and sometimes it might lead them to actually get set up with a social media account, which makes your life a little easier. So social media is great for networking and engaging. So in regards to content, I find that your content should be focused what's value added for the person. So sometimes I know it's really easy for us to put lots of promos and things like that, but thinking about what your audience wants to see. And so like I started putting myself in that place, and started like I follow a lot of people, like Jenna Kutcher is really good. I'm going to post what this one podcast specifically is, that I learned a lot, but making sure it's like value added content to them. So it's going to be directed to your current customers and your new customers. So I know sometimes we're like, oh, like here's how you get set up. Here's the promo this month. But one thing, if you're posting about something you really care about, a great diffuser blend that uplifted your mood, and you're not even putting anything salesy in there, you're not putting even a link to your account, no matter who that person is, if they want to get set up, they're going to reach out to you. They're going to be like, wait, I want what she has. How do I get that? So, and it's not selling, it's not selling something. You're just doing testimonial. And I think people are really attracted to that. So being authentic and genuine. And so that goes for just like everyone has their own flavor, their own creativity, or personality. So what really strikes you? And I think that when you post something that means a lot to you, or is true, or is something you did that day and you just really want to share it, just like kind of leaning into those things is going to be more, you're going to find more success. Like it's crazy. You can actually go in and see insights of your audience. So there's a feature on Facebook and Instagram, and you can see like the time of day, like how much your like page posts have gone up, your like which posts have gotten the most engagement. It's so funny. It's always the ones that are like super like raw and real, and so it's just interesting. So really just trying to resonate with that and lean into that. So alternating your posts between promos, testimonials, and things that are non-salesy, and then educational. So no matter if it's a current customer or new, you want to cultivate with the current customers and new, because you want to get them on board, but you want to educate them, and because they're not going to they're not quite interested until they really know what this really is, right? What doTERRA is and all it has to offer. So so kind of to back up, so when you have your personal account and your business account, like I think it's really challenging to try to get that audience to go to your business account, and you're like, but wait, like I have all these people and I really want to them to go like, and you can constantly be like, go like my page, go follow me every day, but it can get annoying. And so I'll try to do like not suspenseful, but like I'll post like an inspirational quote. It has nothing to do with oils. It has something to do with healthy lifestyle. It has something to do with just kind of inspiring to be healthy. And then I'll just put my handle, it's called. So at Your Essential Health Brie. And then that just leads them into it. So that's one way to do it, but just doing it every once in a while, I think, is productive too. So the other thing, so the other difference between Facebook and Instagram is Facebook, you can post your events. So all your classes, no matter if, I put everything on there. And I make sure that I put private for anything with someone's personal address that's a private event, but I want everything public. And I'm mindful too of who I invite. I don't try to invite all, but I do try to invite quite a bit of people and just stay consistent there. So if you're posting that there, that's something they can actually RSVP to, and you can post and like have all the things in. And so you can do like engagement posts in that Facebook invite. So you can be like, I'm so excited about our EO 101. I'm going to talk about these top 10 oils, and that's it. And, you're not like posting like what the promo is necessarily. You're just giving like little tidbits of what they might learn. So that way they do come. And then how you can advertise that on Instagram is doing Instagram stories. So I know it's like confusing if you're new to Instagram of the difference, but when you open your Instagram account, there's these little circles on the top, and those are Instagram stories. So if you're not sure what those are, they go away within 24 hours. There's something you can put a photo, you can do a video. I think you have to have a lot of people to have the swipe up to go to a link, but you can put a lot of things on there. And so one thing I learned, the difference between your regular Instagram post, obviously that stays with you unless you go in and delete it, but your Instagram story will disappear. But that's kind of like your backstage, like this is like the day in the life, or like here's like the things that are behind the scenes. Let's say you did a post on like my C-section scar. I'm going to do one on my C-section scar, and to me a nicer picture. It's going to look nice. But I might post like in my Instagram story, like a picture of me like 40 weeks pregnant before, and like the right after C-section picture, like something to like feed into it that would draw people to that Instagram post. So things like that. There's cool things you can do on Instagram story too. Like you can add a song, you can add music. So if you go to, sorry, I don't remember like quite off the top of my head, but it's the top right. If you go to your Instagram story, it just shows up as a picture. You can select lots of things like boomerang and super zoom, and you can just like have fun with all the features. But on the top right, there should be an option to overlay with anything from like a music, a graphic. I think it's called a GIF, GIF. I don't even know what it's really called, but just some funny little guy, like whatever. If you're saying, oh, hey, and like finding someone that waves their hand, just kind of like, it makes the post more playful. So I think that's kind of fun. So you can do that. So the Jenna Kutcher podcast, I'm going to post, but she has a couple podcasts that are really good on Instagram specifically. And it gets like really in depth, but she has like some good tips too of like, how, who you're attracting and things like that. And so I don't want to like go into too much depth on like hashtags, but like that is a way to lead people to your page at least. And sometimes it's all with like this algorithm and like how much engagement your page or post gets that you can be like on the top of someone's feed. Because if they have 500 friends, your post might get buried if it's not getting much engagement. So that's why I'm a geek and I always go like love my posts. So you can do things like hashtags. And so I know Laura had one app. I have created a bunch of hashtags that I use as my standard hashtags. And I don't know, I kind of go back and forth with like going overkill on them or not, because I feel like, yes, I want engagement, but like the people coming to see my page may not be my customer. Like and not a lot of people are going to get, enrollment from someone liking your hashtag, but the engagement counts. So you can make your hashtags. So for example, hashtag doTERRA essential oils, hashtag your essential health. You can save whatever that tidbit is in your notes on your phone. So I literally just keep it in my notes. I will add some specific hashtags like C-section scar, hashtag yarrow palm or whatever, and then add that into my post. So that makes it a little bit easier, because I know sometimes we can spend like a lot of time sitting there making posts. So, and the other thing with writing posts that, again, Jenna Kutcher, she's awesome, that I learned from her was doing batch work if you can. So I started to, and now I'm starting like I need to start doing more batch work, but basically you're sitting down, turning off your notifications on your phone, and really just sinking into some things that really are hitting home for you and that you want to write about. And so batching out, like you have all these pictures, let's say, like I've taken random pictures all the time of things I want to talk about. And so just taking those and being like, okay, like magnolia and copaiba, I really want to write about this and how it helped me with anxiety. Oh, okay, like that curry dish I made and the cardamom and ginger I used in it, blah, blah, blah. And just batching out your posts and saving them. So then it's a lot easier for you, especially if you work, you're a mom and all that, that you can just like simply just copy your posts, copy your hashtags, add your couple ones, and you're good to go. So, so I find that makes it easier.
Can I ask you a quick question? Are you talking about for Instagram or Facebook? Can you batch out posts for Instagram?
Do both. I do the exact same. So I want my content to be matching. I don't want to be more work. So I batch out in an email, and that way I just save it on my email. So I always have it with me. And then I literally paste that into Instagram. Well, I'm going to tell you the step before that too, because we talk about line breaks. And then I do the same exact thing for Facebook. And if you have like a link or something you want to throw into the Facebook one, you can, because you can't in Instagram. But yeah.
But you can't pre-do posts. Like on Facebook, you can schedule.
Yeah.
So is that what you were asking?
No.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
Right.
Yeah, I think you can schedule, but I know
There are apps.
I like control like of what I'm posting. So even though I don't quite have time to write posts like during the day at work, I at least have them like pre-done. So then I'm like intentional about I'm posting it around this time. Because again, if you look at like your insights and you're like, oh, 2 p.m. is a great time or whatever to get engagement, it's kind of a good idea to look at those things, because that's your audience and you want to catch their eye. So yeah, I just batch them out.
You email yourself with all your like batch work, your posts, and then just copy and paste for Instagram. But Facebook you can schedule out. So
yeah, you can. But I literally just do my Instagram and then paste it into Facebook.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. And with Instagram, there's this site. I've posted it once before. So write down, it's Apps for Life Host. And the apps is 2 P's. And the 4 is the letter 4. So APPS 4 lifehost.com. And I'll post it when we post the recording. But when I started doing Instagram, was so like the OCD of me like was annoyed with how it bunches the sentences together. And I know we have all experienced that. And so I did like a simple Google, how do I line break? I kept like trying to figure out how to say it right. And then I found this app site. It's a site, but you literally paste in exactly what you want it to say with the line breaks, and all you do is press copy clipboard. So the process I go with posts is I have a picture I like, it's ready to go the way I want, and then I have my batch work post, and it has the line breaks in it and my hashtags, and then I just copy and paste it into the apps for lifehost.com, copy, and then I'm ready to go post it. And then I just copy that right into Facebook like right away. So that's helped. I hope like that site never goes away because I don't know how else to do it. But it seems legit. So the other thing I was going to mention with the difference between Facebook has the events. The one thing I learned recently is that you can actually post events onto Eventbrite, which, if you're not familiar, is just like you go there a lot for tickets for concerts and things like that. And so I just started to play around with it because it's a public site. Because there's people that might engage in that you don't even know. So, for example, my Lunch and Learn class in Auburn, I have a big community down there I could potentially sink into. There's a lot of businesses there, but I'm not quite friends with them. I don't know them. But if I post on Eventbrite, it's a free event. They don't need to buy a ticket, but it shows you buy a free ticket. But it just gets more visibility. So just, being open to more things like that. And then, so I think Alicia asked about the overall purpose of each platform. I think any platform is about networking. It's just going to be a different audience. It's going to be different, a different audience altogether. So you're going to have, sometimes it's a generational thing, right now. But like V, my gym, they're all crazy about Instagram. Like they still post, like V still posts on Facebook and stuff, but majority of everything is on Instagram. So that's why like I always make sure that that's kind of where I show up and make sure that I'm not, I don't forget to post on Facebook, but make sure Instagram is definitely getting the love. With that too, Facebook has those Facebook stories, which are similar to Instagram stories. And instead of like reinventing the wheel and like doing it 2 times, you can just save your Instagram story it'll save to your photos, and then you can just add it to your Facebook story. I'm still working on how you can like automatically link your business account so that way it automatically posts to both platforms. But I don't know because I have like 2 personal too, so I'm still figuring that out. If anyone knows, please share though.
So you can link a
Page, not a group.
business page on Facebook, but not a group. So it depends on if you have a group or a page on Facebook.
Correct.
If you have a page, you can.
I don't know what
Minor.
error I got or why it wouldn't work for me. But every time, I think it was it had to log in and verify me, and it wasn't working. So, I haven't made it a priority to go figure that out. And so.
It didn't work for me either when I did have a page. I do have a page that I don't use at all, but it same thing. I think because I have a personal and a business Instagram, it for whatever reason couldn't figure it out either. But
Yeah,
I was probably doing it wrong.
my business page is linked to my business IG, but my stories don't translate.
Okay.
I would love for that to happen, but my posts automatically post to my page. I just can't get I'd love for the stories, like what you're saying, like get the stories, like, I don't know.
I know. So then I just find, okay, well, even if you save your story on Instagram, let's say, because I feel like they have a lot more options. So if you do it there, you can like have a lot more fun with some of the features if you want to. Then it'll save, even if you're doing like one of the GIFs or whatever you call them, and it's so it's like a video technically. It'll save it like that. So you'll still get the effects on Facebook as you would Instagram. So I think it just depends. But yeah, that would be awesome if we can figure out how to link them. That would be great. And then the Instagram stories, Elizabeth was asking, so they have a cap on like how long your your video can be if you're doing, so there's a couple ways you can do it if you're pre-recorded or if you're recording on the spot, right? But it has kind of a cap on that time frame. If you have a video longer than 15 seconds, it's going to divide it up into the 15-second segments. And so you'll see that, and you'll see the first 15 seconds run over and over, but you'll see on the bottom that they have the different frames. So it's kind of cool because you can write whatever you want on the first frame. If you want to overlay with text, you can just go, it's the top right feature, and I think it's the font feature, and then drop it down, add in the text, and then you can click on the next frame. So if you're like you're making a roller, you're like, here's all my ingredients, and then here I'm filling my essential oil, and then the next frame, here I'm putting my carrier oil. You're like creating a story. So yeah, but if you want to do like ever longer videos, like the Instagram live, if you want it to be all one, is a good idea. And with that, make sure you have space on your phone to save your Instagram videos, because on the Instagram videos, they go away. So you can save, go to the top right and press save. But it won't, I mean, if you don't have room on your phone, it's not going to save. And if once you press share, it's posted, it's going to go away in 24 hours. You cannot go and record it unless you're sitting with your phone doing it. So that's probably like my one challenge I've had. But yeah, Liz, did I answer that question? The graphic.
Yeah. I wonder if I need to update my app or something, because I think my features sound a little different than yours, or maybe I just haven't looked hard. But
I'll
look. Like the music too. I don't know how to do music still, so I'll have to look at my app and maybe update it.
In stories, sometimes you don't have everything, because like about a month ago, all of a sudden I got questions and poll, and I had never had that. I had it on my personal, but not on my business. So I think that everybody has like different features.
That's interesting, because my poll went away recently, and I was like, what happened? Did they update?
Oh, rude.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't have a poll.
And
Yeah.
I've always had those things. So yeah, maybe make sure your phone's updated, and then your Instagram, make sure you're doing updates on your actual apps.
Yeah.
But I find them all. So like you'll have, there's so many different things. The top ones should be location, you can do a handle, so not just your handle, hashtags, GIFs, music, the time, poll, questions. And I don't think those things matter for how many followers you have. I think the only thing for followers is a swipe up options. But yeah, that's what I know. Laura had mentioned that a long time ago, and I was like surprised, because I was like, I don't know, I've always had that. Because yeah, but so that's how you do that. Is there any questions?
I have one. Sorry, I just unmuted to ask this, and my baby's voice. But stop. So I'm wondering, do you have more tips on how to get? Hold on, come on, honey. All right. Do you have more tips on how to get people to like the trap that I have fallen into is exactly what you were talking about, like how you're saying, like, I know it's hard, you want to get on your personal because you have all these people.
Yeah.
So like I use Insta stories a lot, but only on my personal one, because I get all these people like, oh, I love that, I never even knew about that oil, and none of those people like so I feel like I have to post in there, because I don't have, like, I only have 450 people following my Instagram, my business Instagram, and it's like, and none of those people engage with me. So I'm like, okay, so then I get thinking, okay, I got to post. So basically my question is, how can you get people to like your business page on Facebook, your business on Instagram, without constantly being like my page, like my page?
I know. I had a hard time with that, because like I just want to bug people and be like, go like my stuff. So
I know.
I started like, okay, so treat it as like you have all this precious content in this site, and like people want to follow you, and they have to go like it to learn more. And so for example, like some people have no clue that you're doing this, and for me, I don't post that much in my private. I'll post every once in a while, but like just if I'm talking to someone off the streets and they're like, oh, I'm so sick. I'm like, gosh, I'm like, and they know I do oils, but don't follow my page. I'm like, oh, I have this post. I can go tag your name. But I don't know if you like my page, but you should go like my page and I'll tag your name in it. And that's sometimes a good like way to kind of nudge them in there if you're like in person. But I don't know. I mean, like I like to make them curious of what you're up to. I don't post that much in my personal anymore because I'm too busy like putting energy into my business one. But I think like, I don't know, just make something to make them curious. And that's like something totally creative. But, and I mean, just knowing what people don't want to see too, like people don't want, like people are going to have their stereotype in their head of doTERRA's an MLM. They're trying to sell me something. It's like Mary Kay, blah, blah, blah. So just like getting out of their head of like, you have value added content that has to do with like health and wellness. It's not, I have information for you and I am an expert, or I'm very, I know a lot. So I don't know. Yeah. I'll have to think about that more too. Does anyone?
Sorry, did you ever try posting your page to your personal page, like for Facebook? Yeah. I kind of do that once in a while just so that way people know I have a page.
I do that every once in a while. So like if you have a really cool post that people would be interested in, you can just take the picture and you can write like new post or something over top and then just add your hashtag to your business page and be like, hey, if you want to, like that's one thing I do, Ryan, is, hey, like if you want to learn more about doTERRA essential oils, I selectively post on my personal, go follow this if you want to learn more. And you'll have people, but yeah, it's tough. It's not fun.
I'm doing that so much, and I share tons of the posts that I do in my page. Like I share them to my personal if I think they're kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I like recently looked and saw that like so I switched from a group to a page. So I had like 300 people in a group, and I still have it open, but I'm trying to really go to this page because there's way more benefits, like the insights and all the stuff you can see. Yeah. Friends with a group. So I'm like, I want to do that, but then I noticed that like a lot of the people that haven't liked it are like my family members, like all my relatives and siblings. I'm like, I want those people. They're all like presumably supportive of me, but like, and you can't invite them to like it twice. Like once you send the invite, they either have to decline it or they have to like the page. And I think some of them just don't even know they have to do that. So like, come on, people.
I know.
You could always try a giveaway too. People love giveaways, and so doing something like my page to do a giveaway. And see, like I don't even have a page, and I did have like a business Instagram, but I find that when I have like way too many pots to stir, I don't stir any of them. So I do everything on my personal one, and I just am like, okay, I just mesh my whole life, like this is my snotty kid, and here's my oils, and here's my hot husband, and here's this oil, and so I like do it wrong and backwards and whatever, but I find that's what works for me, because to manage all of it was too much, and really ultimately it's a part of my life, and so I am just showing the normality of my life. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't have the right answers, but I will say people love giveaways, so you can incentivize them to like your page and tag a friend to increase engagement and whatever. But I don't think there's any shame in posting, of course, and I don't really post on Facebook on my personal, really. I like forget about that. But I don't know. I think there's a way to do it where if you're like true and you're like being organic to yourself, then it doesn't feel yucky, as I don't know, when you're on personal.
Yeah, and I feel like what you said, it's everyone's gonna have their own way. Like you might be okay with combining, and that's more manageable, and you're gonna actually be more productive of what you're putting out there. And that's like, there's no right or wrong. Do you, and do what you're comfortable with. I thought it was kind of fun to do a separate one, and I don't know. I feel like I kind of wanted just to like have some of my personal stuff personal. Like if my husband wasn't comfortable with me like blasting pictures of our son, then, you know, that's not open to everyone. But I mean, generally everyone on my business page right now is friends with me on the personal, but you know, so yeah, like.
So I'm kind of like Jessica. Can I chime in real quick?
Mm-hmm.
So I just use my personal account for everything as well. And on like the main page, I'm pretty much 50-50. Like, here's my super cute toddler one day. And then the next day, like, here's this oil I'm using. But I feel like it's a lot easier in the stories to talk a lot more about the oils and like the promos and whatever, just because it's so much easier for people to just like tap on by if they don't want it.
Yeah.
And since it's not showing up on like their main feed, it's not as intrusive, I guess. So like if they're not into it, it's super easy for them to just tap on by. And generally, if you're following, you know, 400, 500 people, you're only watching the stories of the people you really like anyways. Like I only watch the stories of maybe 10 people, but I'm following like 500. Yeah. So like if they're watching your stories anyways, they're probably not going to unfollow your page because you're talking about oils.
Yeah.
So it might be a good way if you do have the separate accounts, like on your personal account, put that stuff in the stories and be like, oh, hey, on my business page, I just talked about this oil I use. Go check it out. Or like try to link the post somehow if you can.
Yeah, totally. I actually have been doing that more because I'm like, oh yeah, it is less intrusive to just post a little bit on your personal. Because I've had one of my friends that's on my team. She's not a builder. She secretly is. I know she is, but she'll give me tips all the time. She's like, why don't you post in your personal? And why don't you share your videos on there? And so, yeah, I think like the story is a good idea to be a little bit more out there. I've thought about too, like, since I haven't done much on my personal, is just showing up one day for Instagram Live on my Instagram Live or Facebook Live on my personals, just to say what I'm doing and just like leave them curious to lead into my business if I want to keep it separate, right? If you don't, then that wouldn't apply. But some people just don't know even if you have separate what you're really up to if you do keep it separated. But yeah. Anyone else have any questions? I did get a notice that Zoom added time. I'm unlimited time now, Jen. I don't know how.
Oh.
So.
Hopefully they didn't charge your card.
Do they have my card? I don't know.
No, probably not. I'm just joking.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no. That never happened to me before when I had the free one. But
yeah, I don't know. I don't remember putting a card, so I hope
that was so much good information. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I was thinking that maybe as we hang up or whatever, if people have other questions in the thread, maybe they could post it, because there was a couple things that kind of they're popping into my head, but I know we're kind of close on time. So maybe if anyone has other questions, they could post to that thread and ask.
Yeah, and I can try to do screenshots of some of the things I was talking about. I was going back and forth about screen sharing, but Instagram's hard to do on the computer. Screen sharing, the web view on your computer is so much different than your phone. So
yeah,
but I guess the only other thing to add is on what you post, like making it attractive or pretty. You don't have to have like a super awesome camera or anything, or there's a lot of things like on doTERRA's site, or if you're following Keely, they're going to do this one drop where you can actually it's $20 a month and you can get access to photos that are already pre-done that you can still make your own. You can still make your own content with the text, but making them attractive and presentable of some sort, or real, like your toddler's crying and you're holding balance over them. Like those are the ones that really draw people's interest and stuff. So yeah, that's like a whole nother topic, I think. So
cool. Thank you so much. That was awesome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much.
Well, I think next week Jessica's going to cover MailChimp on Monday if you guys want to come back. And I'm super excited to learn more about that as well, especially for people who are not on social media. So anyway,
I know.
thanks, you guys. Yeah, me too.
Bye.
Have a great Monday. It's Monday, right? Yeah, Monday night. I do want to tell you that usually I'm leading the call and like recording it or whatever. I almost forgot because I can't see myself. I can see everybody else. And I was getting kind of hot. I just want you to know I almost took my shirt off, and I'm super glad. Like, no, I really did. And I'm super glad that all of a sudden I realized, oh, like everybody could still see me. And so I opted not to do that. You guys are so happy right now.
I know. I told my husband I'm like always late, and I was like, I have to be on time because I'm starting it, so no one can log in until I'm on.
That's right. All right. Thank you so much. Have a great night, you guys. Bye.